Ladies and gentlemen, we got FARACLAS at the Arion in the super event of the year, yes, here in Paris because of Posidonia, Capital Links event on all aspects concerning shipping to all intents and purposes on the floor and on the panel. So we got Nikos Bonosis, who has done a pretty much the best job to include all the aspects of shipping in one 7 hours event. So we'll ask him what triggered him to include all these issues, how the event is going on, and what he expects out of this event.
Well, we're very happy the way the event has developed. The objective of this event is to bring together those who are coming to Greece for Posidonia. And as you know, there's a huge influx of foreign visitors coming to Greece for Posidonia. So we want to bring those together with the leaders of the Greek shipping community. So as you can see, everyone on the panel was a CEO of a public or a private company in various sectors: LNG, tankers, containers, dry bulk, offshore. And the idea exactly is to have an interactive discussion on how they see the shipping markets develop and how shipping is developing. We also have a capital markets panel because one of the critical issues on shipping today is access to capital and financing. So overall, we got overwhelming response. We have more than 500 delegates. But again, the idea of this conference was to have a very high-level discussion between industry leaders, both in terms of the shipping companies and also the industry participants. And I think the bottom line of the whole event is that, number one, it reaffirms the global leadership position of the Greek shipping. Number two, the credibility and respect that it enjoys. Number three, its contribution to the Greek economy. Even though Greek shipping does not depend on the Greek economy, it still contributes materially to it. And the next point is everyone has debated with cautious optimism about the future, especially in the second half of 2014. In several sectors, like dry bulk, for example, we may start seeing a modest but hopefully constant recovery. So overall, it was a review of Greek shipping, its leadership position, and where it goes. Of course, one of the critical topics was the order book, how we can balance the supply with the demand. But I think everybody on that was they were divided on how to approach that. But bottom line is cautious optimism about the future.
How do you counter that this is the worst year for 30 years with a dropping market that closed at 2,227 in December, and now it has lost 58.01% to be precise with you? How do you counter this?
I think part of it has to do with, a big part of it has to do with supply, because as we have seen, if you look at the statistics of demand has been kept rather robust. So to a large extent, this has been an issue of supply. Also, I think the Chinese had a temporary slowdown in terms of their ordering. And number three, particularly now, the summertime has traditionally been, we have the seasonal effect within a cyclical industry. So you have a double effect if you want. But that's why everybody's expecting that coming with the second half of 2014 and going into 2015, we might see a modest recovery.
Finally, the geopolitical events, for example, the South China Sea issues and the Ukraine, which has also wider issues because both of them, they entail energy. How do you see if this, explodes, that might affect the industry? Well, and possible Suez Canal closure or otherwise or whatever, or the Straits of Bosporus, you never know.
I think shipping is one of the very few industries that has an immediate reaction to events. It's an event-driven industry. And if you remember the Onassis case, for example, he was in big trouble and then the Suez Canal closed and he went, he had a wonderful time employing all his ships at 2 or 3 times the freight rate. So if all these things happen, I think, which I hope they don't happen in a negative way, but if they do, I think the effect on shipping will be very, very positive.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John FARACLAS from Allaboutshipping.co.uk at the best ever event of its kind here in Greece. Over and out.